We're going to wait. We're going to wait until they turn. They're going to walk up towards the clubhouse there in front of this gorgeous Arlington Park grandstand, arguably the prettiest racing structure in the entire world. We have a field of 12 here, 12 fillies and mares. And number 1 is Risk Averse. Pat Kelly saddled her to win Keeneland's Queen Elizabeth Stakes for owner Peter Schiff, whose late father John had horses with his father, Hall of Fame trainer T.J. Kelly. Real family affair. Here's Islington. She was supplemented for 90,000. This British filly won the Yorkshire Oaks and then finished 5th, beaten only 2 lengths after briefly leading in the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe, the toughest race in the world. Another supplementary filly from overseas is a 3-year-old Turtle Bow. This French filly was an excellent second in the Flower Bowl last month and should take to this turf course today. It has a bit of a cut in it, as the Europeans say. And here is that lightly raced filly we spoke of, Dublino, the 3-year-old, has finished first in both of her starts for her new trainer Laura de Seroux after being imported, but she was disqualified in one. And if those racing silks look familiar, they belong to Michael Klein, son of Eugene Klein, who raced Winning Colors and Lady's Secret. Here's Banks Hill. We talked about her in the paddock. Last year's winner, back to defend her title, but now she has a new trainer and a new jockey, Bobby Frankel and Jerry Bailey. She doesn't really like the soft. It's been documented for a long time, but we'll find out for sure today. There was some speculation that she might be scratched because the going was fairly deep for her liking. And here is Golden Apples. She won the Beverly D and the Yellow Ribbon for owner Gary Tanaka, who believes in buying proven quality runners from Europe and bypassing the yearling sales, and he's been very successful at it indeed. And here's Gossamer, full sister to Barathea, who won the mile in 1994, also for trainer Luca Camani. And when her owner Gerald Lee died this summer after a long illness, racing truly lost a great friend. Here's Zenda, top-class British 3-year-old filly, was unlucky to lose in her only American start down at Keeneland. She's trained by John Gosden, who won the inaugural Breeders' Cup Mile with the great filly Royal Heroine. Zenda was seen sporting earmuffs here training this week, but doesn't seem to be wearing them right now. Seems very settled, in fact. Here's number 9, Chopinina. The Canadian filly had been a real problem child in the morning. She didn't want to train, she sulked, she kicked, she carried on. But her new trainer, Alex Fair, was very patient with her and has found a key to training her, and has now coaxed 2 wins and a second out of her for owner Steve Savro of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Here's Owsley, and if those yellow and gray silks look familiar to you, they belong to Arthur Hancock and were carried by Sunday Silence in his dramatic classic victory over Easy Goer in 1989. And here is Starine. This is the house horse in Bobby Frankel's barn. He purchased her for his own interest in France last year and turned her into a Grade 1 winner. She wasn't at her best this spring, but she's really come around lately, and a little bit of a sleeper in here at 13-1. And last but not least, from the Godolphin operation is Kazia, winner of the English Oaks and the Flower Bowl, but her season has really been compromised by foot problems, and she popped another abscess last week and missed some training time. Be tough for this.
Dispatch the field for their mile and a quarter. And they're off. Gossamer breaking well. Kazia veered out soon after the start. Down toward the inside, Turtle Bow has some early speed, and Chopinina emerges from mid-pack. So it's Kazia and Chopinina to match strides for the early lead. Kazia, the front runner now. Chopinina has been backed off and will concede the early lead to Kazia. 2.5 lengths back, and Turtle Bow is running along in third. Then the gray filly, Starine, is fourth. Defending champion Banks Hill has been maneuvered to the inside early. She's racing in 5th position now. Gossamer broke well, but she's been taken back into 6th. Down on the inside of Dublino 7th. Owsley 3 wide 8th. English filly Islington drafting in behind horses in the European manner. She's now 9th. And down toward the inside is the late running Risk Averse. Golden Apples has only 1 horse beaten, and that is long shot Zenda. The opening quarter went in a sensible 24 2/5 seconds. The half was 49 seconds flat, and Kazia is loose on an easy lead here. Kazia out there by 2. And Chopinina, Emil Ramsani still stalking, conceding that lead to Kazia, is stretching it out to 3 lengths now. And then it's Turtle Bow racing in 3rd. Starine is 4th. Banks Hill has maneuvered to the outside for clear running in 5th position now with about a half mile to go. And then it's Gossamer moving sweetly down toward the inside in 6th. Islington is 7th, and she's asked for a bit more. Dublino is still about 9 or 10 lengths from the leader, and the leader has been unopposed. Kazia through 3/4 in 1:12 2. Chopinina still Hill running in second. Then it's Turtle Boat toward the inside. They've been 1, 2, 3 all the way around the racetrack. And they're that way as they turn for home. And now Starine picks it up. She moves to third. Banks Hill has asked for more run fourth. Islington is trying to find a way through from fifth. Dublino is cut loose. And on the far outside, it's Golden Apples. Risk Averse is coming through down toward the inside. Gossamer in the thick of it. Starine takes the lead. Starine has overhauled Kasia. Banks Hill is there on the outside. Islington trying hard late. Gossamer looking for a way through. Golden Apples far outside. Under the line. And Starine streaks under the wire to win it by 2. Defeating the defending champion Banks Hill by 2 lengths there. It was close for third between Islington and Golden Apples. Early, and Starine had a pretty good spot. She was fourth most of the way around. They allowed Kasia and Chopinina an easy time of it in the early going. Those two had no excuses. Starine ran a great race here to defeat the defending champion Banks Hill, and it didn't appear that the course was much of a problem for her today. Starine owned and trained by one Robert Frankel and ridden by Johnny Velasquez here, who won an earlier race today with Storm Flag flying. The final time for the filly and mare turf here was 2:03.2. Johnny Velasquez, a star on the rise, and 2 victories on the Breeders' Cup.
And he got credit this year, so she got to ride in here for free. And here she is. She was known to like the soft turf. Bob Newmeyer picked her good. I hope he bet a bundle, because Starine just stalked that early pace and moved to them when she was ready. Look, John Velasquez never even turns his stick over. Easiest sort of win for Starine. Bobby Frankel's getting the hang of this Breeders' Cup.
Every Breeders' Cup race. Only Jerry Bailey's had that distinction before. He's a popular guy, and he showed why.
Definitely. Got a lot of followers this afternoon. Now here he is right here on Starine with the red cap. You can see him going to come on the outside here. Go to run down that pacemaker, Kasia, who set the pace but really folded when they came. And there's the grey. And look at that confident ride by John Velasquez. He's just sitting there. A little tap on the shoulder. The horse explodes right here. He puts them away. Some of them are going to come running on the outside. Banks Hill chases her. Golden Apples, Islington. But really, this race was won at the 8th pole. John Velasquez really just had to point her in the right direction, and she just took off. This is a powerful, powerful run.
And Banks Hill kicked in for second. Again, I didn't think she loved the off-going.
Did the last time.
All right, let's take a look at the official order of finish. Filly and mare turf. The winner is Starine, owned and trained by Bobby Frankel, ridden by John Velasquez, who wins the race. Islington, the European filly, third. Golden Apples had to come way out of it, settled only for 4th money. Zenda Turtle Bow. Dublino didn't fire today, but the winner with happy Bobby Frankel and friends is Mike Battaglia.
This is Golden Apples 3 wide, and these 3 line up at the top of the stretch. Dressed to Thrill, angles 4 deep. Magic Mission less than 2 from the front, and Chalk Ice. Banks Hill rides the rails. Golden Apples to the outside. These 2 kick on. Dressed to Thrill and Magic Mission. It's Golden Apples who strikes to the front. Banks Hill laboring at the rail. Dressed to Thrill, the 3-year-old filly on a full-fledged attack. Golden Apples. Here comes Patrick Smullen and Dressed to Thrill in the Matriarch. Dressed to Thrill!
All right, the winner here, Dressed to Thrill. Dressed to Thrill came over from Europe and ran 8th in the Cup Mile at Arlington. Was 4 for 5 over in Europe, and Dermot Weld saddled. Patrick Smullen was aboard, and they beat Golden Apples, who was 7 to 5, and Banks Hill, who was 6 to 5. Takes Creek part of the entry.
Mabee Handicap. Mabee sent on their way. They all came away very smoothly. From the inside gate, Tate's Creek is quickest into stride. The long shot Vose de Collegiale are going to go up alongside, and Golden Apples on the extreme outside. Behind that comes Megahertz, and Dublino is at the back, but they're very compact as they come past the stands first time round. The long shot, Vose de Collegiale, now goes on to lead them 1.5 lengths. Tate's Creek is racing well off the rail in the 2nd spot. Golden Apples just a 1/2 length behind her. Dublino is now 4th, only 2.5 lengths off them, and Megahertz is at the back. Not in any hurry at all as they run past the 7/8 pole. Still Vose de Collegiale leading it by 1.5 lengths. Tate's Creek just tracking her in the 2nd spot. Golden Apples nice and comfortable in the 3rd position, 2.5 off the leaders. On the inside of that is Dublino, also just on a long range, just loping along there, and Megahertz is last, but 4 lengths would cover this entire field. They swing onto the backstretch, and still Julie Crone dictating the pace on Vose de Collegiale. Now Tate's Creek, though, is keen to go on, and he's got her ears pricked, and she starts to tug her way up to the lead. On the outside, Golden Apples still being patiently ridden, just a 1/2 length back in 3rd. Dublino just going to wait her time and wait for them to find a spot to run at them. Megahertz last, but still 3 lengths would cover the entire field. Into the turn they go. Vos de Calesia tries to quicken on for home. Tate's Creek is still right there, though, and travelling well. On the outside, Golden Apples now has to come after her from third. Dublino and Megahertz. Now they've turned the pressure on. Top of the lane, and Tate's Creek is the one to beat. Tate's Creek goes for home. Golden Apples on the grandstand side. Dublino, Vos de Calesia ran a big one. Megahertz on the grandstand side. Any one of the 5. Tate's Creek is the leader. Here's Megahertz like a rocket on the grandstand side. Megahertz bursting out of the pack. A driving finish. Megahertz wins among Mabee. Dublino, Tate's Creek, Golden Apple all right there, and Vos de Calesia a creditable 5th.
Did we even talk about Megahertz?
You don't have to talk about Megahertz. She does it all herself. Bobby Frankel sends out Megahertz, who now is a new member of the Millionaires Club. With a victory here in the John C. Mabee Handicap, it's worth $400,000. The winner gets more than half of that.
You know what's kind of happened here, guys, is that they just happened to turn this into basically about a 5/16 of a mile sprint. I'm not sure if that would suit the favourite Tate's Creek as much as it would Megahertz, because she's got such a tremendous turn of foot, Megahertz. She can absolutely fly for 3/16 or a quarter of a mile, which she has done today. And what a finish to this race. This is a neck separating 4 of the 5 runners. Fantastic race.
And at one point I thought maybe Dublino was going to be in too tight to be able to make a move, but she did get enough through